Thank you very much, Raz. Awesome to hear from head coach Ido, the new head coach of Disguise. Started off as an analyst for them and now takes to the stage with the team, squaring off against LYON. You got Kangas and Kobe on the cast today, and pretty big implications here, Kobe, because the loser of this will be 4th seed going into next week for the cross-group play.
Yeah, and you do not want to have to play against 100 Thieves. So the winner of this series actually gets a big reward, because 100 Thieves being down in the 3rd, 4th matches there for next week is definitely very scary. So, yep, both these teams, a lot riding on it. Really cool to hear, some words out of Ido there, because he has a lot to do, and he's talking about ripping out some old misconceptions and getting everyone on the same page.
Yep.
I mean, Dignitas in the last 13 games, they are 1-12. So they really do need to rip out a lot of that the old misconceptions. And
they got that one against Team Liquid. This guy says that one win against Team Liquid. That's pretty good. Struggled the rematch, though, in their series there. They're up against LYON, who also have had a tough go of things here. Also, shout out to Castle, by the way, wearing a cape. That is, I believe, official disguised cape there.
Blanket cape.
Blanket cape.
Comfy and stylish.
Is it more of a blanket? Is it more of a cape? We'll let you decide at home. But either way, it's comfy.
It's a blanket turned into a cape.
What if we put like a little emblem in front of there?
The cool thing is where it came from, right? Where, when he's wearing it in practice for comfort, and Toast made him a disguised, branded one with his name on it.
It even says Castle on the back. Exactly. It's great. So now he can put the old blanket back on the bed, and now when he's practicing, he gets to wear this cool one.
And they're doing everything they can to make their players comfortable on stage. I think that is definitely one of the key building blocks here for the the struggling teams, for the teams at the bottom. So we'll see if Disguise can turn around and get a meaningful victory versus LYON here.
Wow, LYON win is better than Mint Ice Cream? That's crazy. Mint Ice Cream's great.
All right, well, they're going to start with the Rumble lock-in for Castle. I think that's a good place to start out. We're talking about comfort. He's got his blanket, and he's got his Rumble here. So they'll probably be looking for one of the very common AD jungles to pair with it. Xin Zhao available. Vi, obviously, is basically been permabanned, but Licorice already is happy to play the Ambessa into it.
So the Rumble's a pick against Licorice as well. It's his most played so far. Go check out the Patreon. But they're taking that away from Licorice, but he also knows how to play into this, so the Ambessa classic counter there. As trying to think what the other jungle premier options are. The Fury's really that top one. Vi, Sejuani, Nocturne all off the table, as well as Xin Zhao. No, it's going to be a solo laner again with Yone locked in.
Yeah, now for the side, for Disguise, your answers. You need your AD jungle, plus what are you going to play into Yone? Yone is 100% pick ban, super high prio. All right, there's your AD jungle, the point-and-click stun for eXyu, for the Pantheon. Technically, can flex it to huhi as well. He does like a lot of the roaming supports.
Sure.
So keeping that one open, but would be a very good jungle choice in this scenario, because it does pair super well with the Rumble up on the top side. And another possible flex here, but probably look for ScaryJerry there.
I love Pantheon for a player like eXyu just because he's a very creative jungler. He likes to go for aggressive plays early and doesn't necessarily play the jungle the way that you expect a lot of the top players to go for. Instead, he looks for much earlier plays, and the Pantheon allows you to do that. Also kind of allows you to get away with it because you have that ultimate to make plays happen that otherwise wouldn't be available.
Meanwhile, to pair with your double AD split pushing solo lanes, the Maokai here. This is looking deadly. LYON are crafting a very scary comp here. Maokai ultimates into Yone and Ambessa ultimates. Incredible team fight. Very scary, but short range stuff here fairly early on for LYON, although they are very mobile, so definitely can't make up for it that way. Let's see about focusing down the bottom side of the map. And they do ban away the Ezreal, so they're thinking it's going to be the Tristana answer into Yone.
I'm not going to ask. Fan in the audience, I'm not going to ask, actually. I think you should keep that.
We need to see them chat logs.
No?
Pull them out.
That's your guess? All right.
We're not going to show them on stage. But
Production will check, and then security will talk to you later.
Some of them might be censored.
Yeah. All right, well, we have the Ezreal, the Bobby bans, and then the Lucian and the Nautilus bans coming through. Some more focus on that bottom side here. Let's see what the premier pick is going to be for LYON. They like to save that support pick, or at least a lot of teams like to save support pick for the counter. Go for the AD carry here. Now, again, you don't know if you're into the Tristana or if that Tristana is going mid lane, so they're going to go for the Kalista.
It's interesting because we have seen a lot of these short-range ball comps with Kalista and a bunch of melee engagers. And actually, it kind of like worked for Dignitas in that super long one they came back versus Shopify Rebellion. But I don't know, after the nerfs, I really have dropped Kalista priority. And since Disguise can still answer with their last couple of picks here, looks like they're going to go Corki Alistar for it. Getting the Alistar when you're facing so many short-range champs, I think is a lot of super high value here for huhi.
But it allows for a counter pick. This is what I like to see from Red 5 if you're saving support. You let your opponent pick the Alistar. Renata, also a pretty good combo with the Kalista, but Renata Glasc will have a great work just kind of getting rid of that Alistar's engages, at least in the laning phase. And also, you know, again, layering ultimates. We have the Maokai to set things up, Renata ult on top of it as well. Like, there's a lot of chain CC and engage at LYON are packing right now.
Yep, huge team fight power here with a lot of the AoE and very, very good engage for themselves. Very exciting one here now for Disguise and LYON because of the way that the other group went. And 100 Thieves kind of looming over on the other side.
The boogeyman. You definitely want to pick up a win here because the winner will get to match up against Dignitas. But that's all in the future. Immediately ahead of us right now, we got a best-of-3 series between these two teams. You got to keep their eyes on the prize and their mental focus right now. That's been Ido's focus with Disguise since he joined as head coach. Get everybody on the same page. LYON trying to do the same. Non-subscribers, we'll see you in 30 seconds. But for everybody else sticking around, get ready for Disguised versus LYON game number 1. A reminder that both of these teams, great room for improvement. They both have been improving since that first split, but they have yet to really solidify a mark here in Split 2. This could be the beginning of just that.
A lot of options here for these junglers too, pretty early on. I want to see if they want to invest in any level 1 stuff to try and get any early Raptor wards, because there's definitely some volatile angles to go for if they want to get some ganks in. So far, looks like a little bit of a jungler stare down here. Oddielan and eXyu, little handshake in the river before the game starts.
You also see him on screen hovering above the rift right there. Very different journeys to get to this match. eXyu coming in here. 3rd time now in Tier 1. He's been bouncing around between Tier 1 and Tier 2, and he's trying to prove that he does belong. And also that he's a creative player. I actually got a chance to chat with all the members of Disguise, and they all gave like a 1-word description of their play style, as LYON's actually going for a bit of an invade here. It's just to get a ward down. The 1-word descriptor for each Disguised member from top to bottom: Castle, he wants to be rock solid.
Okay.
eXyu, creative. Abbedagge, improved. ScaryJerry, belongs. And huhi, fearless.
I like those, you know, kind of boiling down some of the stories here to a single word. You know, Abbedagge's one definitely caught me there. He wants to be known as improved. You know, that's really been the course that he set himself on joining this team, because he has had previous success here. Meanwhile, ScaryJerry, that one as well, definitely fits with his interviews, belongs up in Tier 1.
Hey, if you're a rookie AD carry in 2025, it's a tough position to be in right now. But I also want to bring the conversation towards the mid lane here, because Abbedagge versus Saint, a lot of experience on Abbedagge's side. Saint has had a great resurgence so far in this split too, but there's a bit of an asterisk on that because of last week, Kobe.
Yeah, they got so close to taking down Cloud9. It really is a heartbreaker. And that, the chain right there.
You don't want that one to land.
The long silence one that went out, but that was the end of game 2, right when they were on the brink. But you have to be able to move on from that, you know, recover, not kind of dwell in the past. And LYON, like you said, they had showed a lot of very good looks. I'd say especially their early game has been quite positive in a lot of the series, even when they don't find victory, and something they should continue to snowball on. Particularly these early skirmishes Oddielan was very successful in a lot of his Xin Zhao games, especially. Maokai is definitely less threatening, but has a lot of support as far as going for ganks. A lot of very good lockdown there. So both junglers are heading up towards the, or clearing down towards the bottom side of the map. So
yeah,
we'll see about the pushing lane of Kalista Renata helping Oddielan out for the Scuttle Crab. And I would just assume that eXyu is going to try and go trade rather than fight that one, since their bottom lane's got the reset here, and you got your early tier buy for ScaryJerry.
Yep,
so
went for the early reset. Had to use the cleanse, and huhi also had to use the heal earlier on. So they're going to be down 2 summoner spells as Lyonz bot lane do have the push yet again.
And they're down a lot of CS. And that cannon also just died on my screen.
Ooh.
So it's a lot of CS, and it's a lot of very valuable CS with the cannon one going down. So with that bottom side push, of course, yeah, bot side Scuttle Crab to the Maokai, top side there for eXyu. Kind of trading.
eXyu's actually going in for an invade right now. Drops the ward down, waiting for the Raptor spawn here. Oddielan will spot it out now as he gets hit by the spear. And eXyu, with the help of Abbedagge, are actually going to try and force onto the Raptors. Oddielan might look for the smite fight, but he actually doesn't have smite, so he's just got to walk away. eXyu will successfully take away those Raptors.
Yeah, you're trying to scare the Maokai enough so he doesn't come in for a Q smite. Maokai Q is still such a Raptor killing ability, even after the nerfs that they laid on it. And so because Abbedagge is over there, you know, they push him off enough, and Oddielan only got one of the little baby Raptors there on that respawn, so success.
This is something eXyu loves to do. He loves to play aggressive in the jungle, and Pantheon's a perfect type of champion for him to do just that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more invades, especially if Abbedagge can continue to keep priority in the mid lane.
Yeah, the reward's not that huge, of course, with the time invested and with Oddielan going up to grab his Krugs. But now on his reset, we'll see where he drops his control ward and if he can actually set anything up, because you mentioned that mid lane again, and Abbedagge actually took a lot of damage, so
sure,
making it very volatile here, and we're going to get both of the junglers slipping in towards that mid lane.
Oddielan spots out eXyu, just a Q from each jungler. And eXyu actually drops the control ward, so now he doesn't have that anymore. 75 gold down the drain right there, as he'll try and keep his own. We're fighting for the vision early in the game, but it does help set up for the dragon. So I think that was probably the idea from eXyu is, hey, maybe I can find a window mid, and then we can transition that into an objective.
I think the way that team comps have gone, the early dragon is going to be really hard for DSG regardless. I don't think they want to fight with a Kalista Renata smashing lane. So this is one of those situations where you cannot trade anything because the grubs do not spawn till 8 minutes now. And so that's why a lot of the pros have been talking about how quickly the rise in bot lane priority has happened since early dragon focus is so much more rewarding, since the other team can't just trade anything.
Yep.
So yeah, eXyu, you know, he got I mean, he didn't even actually kill the ward. He dropped his ward, saw the other ward, and then just had to get pushed out. So all going according to plan so far for LYON.
And we've seen LYON and their bot lane be a strength point for them. So I think that this meta will suit this team very well if they can play stronger bot sides. Hena, yes, he's coming in from LCK. He's made playoffs a handful of times. But if you hear the players here talk about Hena, he provides a lot of pressure for the team. And we're already seeing that early on here, as eXyu is going to go for another invade at the spawn of Raptors. Oh, but Lyonz is actually pulling it away, wasting some of eXyu's time here.
Yep, leashes it out, and they're going to be here well ahead of time. It looks like they actually are just going to go into another re-clear for Oddielan. You do want to get your level 6 Maokai ultimate as quickly as possible. It's kind of a game changer here for these early team fights.
And that's one of the big additions with the change from the grubs going 8 minutes, as Abbedagge taking another rough trade in the mid lane right there, is that junglers that have a strong ultimate are even stronger for that grub fight, because Maokai with ult, yeah, it just hits it. It's going to have a big area of control. Pantheon ultimate does not provide a lot of power to the kit when it comes to taking grubs. So I actually think that this is another big advantage for LYON right now.
Yeah, we'll see if they decide to swap their bottom lane up to the top side, because we're already at 7:30 plus into the game, so grubs are imminent. And it looks like the pressure on bottom lane is still there for LYON, as mid lane as well pushes in, and they can get the early access to the top river.
Abbedagge is going to go for a reset now. Doesn't have the teleport. Saint is going to be able to push another wave here then, if Abbedagge does actually commit. Yeah, we'll finish the back. eXyu's heading bot side, so there is a window here that LYON will have shove mid. They also have Oddielan on the right side of the rift. It could just be an uncontested grubs if Oddielan wants to go for it. Even Licorice has the shove top side, so expecting that to be the play.
Should be. Bot side recalling now, going for their reset. Oddielan will at least get some of them. Here comes eXyu.
eXyu might look for the ult, yeah.
It's fine. He's at least going to get one, and he has smite for the second one, so you can, as long as you get two, looks pretty good.
eXyu actually just walks up instead of committing the Grand Starfall, and will push LYON away. And like you just said, Oddielan just smites the second one. They're happy with the objective secure stacking. That's now 2 monsters cleared as they go for the feat of monster slain.
And it means that, you know, Kalista here, off of the reset, gets to come back. Upgraded boots ready for lane, gets a nice large minion wave as well to collect. Didn't have to spend any time like walking up to the top side of the map. Hena even gets a really nice stop on that recall to delay pretty heavily. ScaryJerry
Lyonz can do it again. If LYON, oh, he's not going to walk up, okay. Whew, well, ScaryJerry will get a reset now. Going to probably just head right back to that bottom side. Dragons in 2 minutes. No fights yet. It's just been LYON a little faster on the map so far. Yeah, eXyu's gotten a couple of camps advantage on Oddielan as he took away some Raptors, but it really has not meant much for Disguised. But all in all, fairly even game state other than LYON being ahead on that monster clear count, going towards feats of strength. Chunk onto huhi though. So now Alistar in a bit of trouble. And I see actually, anytime you see Pantheon, like this is what I'm talking about. He can go for creative ganks. Abbedagge actually jumps in. Saint gonna have to back off. I want to look at that bot side though, because it still looks like eXyu's looking for the Grand Starfall, and here it comes. Going for the engage, flash forward from huhi, trying to lock down Hena. He pulls back in Lyonz. And Hena's now the focus, but he's bouncing around, dancing past the damage. Disguise cannot make it stick. Now Oddielan looking for the re-engage, locking down ScaryJerry. Flash available. He's going to have to use it to get out of this one. You have to imagine. There it is. Over the wall. Saint follows, misses, but flashes for first blood. LYON turned the play.
And it is the mid jungle coming down from mid lane that turn it. It's going to cost them at least 1 turret plate due to the Tristana, but I mean, that kill is going to cost ScaryJerry both summoner spells as well. A lot, of course, spent by LYON to get the kill, but definitely kind of opening up for the next spawn on Dragon. They will be returning after their reset.
That's the difficulty of trying to get onto the Renata Glasc when the Kalista has ultimate available. Hena just keeps LYON safe, and they're able to get out of there. So now LYON on the board. Gold in the pocket of Saint as well is pretty good for the Yone, even if you lose that plate. But ooh, huhi's actually going for roam top side. Hex Flash available, no regular Flash though. It doesn't have the ultimate either, so Licorice could be in some trouble here as eXyu and huhi are going to look for the dive. ScaryJerry's joined as well. Licorice flashes away, just jumping back. huhi looking for the pulverize. Doesn't quite get the stun, but eXyu should have the damage. Licorice trying to make it hard for him. One more Q-tap, and there it is. eXyu evens the scoreboard.
And that's DSG trying to react to what is happening. Yeah, they're not going to be able to fight the next dragon, so they say, you know what? We're going to full send on a cross-map play.
Yep.
That means it is, you know, it is like getting something out of a situation that's pretty rough for you. It's still going to cost you a lot, though, because not only do you lose the dragon that you decided to give up, but you're also going to give up a bunch of turret plates and money on the bottom side of the map. But they were in a rough spot regardless, and so they say, you know what? Best choice in our scenario is to go for the cross map. They do at least get their kill and get some turret plate money traded for ScaryJerry up there as well. But
yeah,
LYON stacking ahead. Their dragon plan with this Kalista Renata is still in motion. Number 2 acquired. Really the breaking point usually comes though a bit later in the game.
Sure.
You know, where DSG will decide to fully fight it.
It's not over. We're making a second play on the Licorice. No public execution, no flash this time. Licorice gonna try and bounce it back, but there's just not enough damage from Disguised right now. Licorice should walk all the way back up and takes a chunk, but should be just fine. At least ScaryJerry got enough plates there. He equalized the amount of plates that Hena was able to take. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, Disguised are a little bit ahead in gold. It's not much, but it's something. But again, it's LYON and their focus on the objectives that's putting them ahead, as they should have secured all 3 of the feats of monster slain there.
Yeah, Disguise trying to focus on keeping their money up so when they do decide to fight either third dragon or fourth dragon, eventual soul, then they will be in competitive standings. You know, a lot of these first item completions are coming in or very close to coming in for them, so definitely getting into position for that one.
And as we look at where the advantages lie, I mean, ScaryJerry's falling a little bit behind. The plates will keep him in it. But topside's actually going fairly well for Castle here. He's had a couple of rough performances over the split, but he wants to be known as rock solid as a player.
Then?
Well, yeah, where's the, that's a good point.
Solid,
that's a good point. Rumble's not exactly that forte, but doing a really good job in the laning phase, all things considered. Has that first item completed. And for a player that, I mean, he's had a lot of really good moments, but Kobe, he's never made it to playoffs. Even last year when he was on Immortals, he's still chasing that goal here.
He was missing the cape, Kangas.
He was missing the cape. That's a good point.
Now he's got the cape with his name on it.
He's got the comfort buff. All right, well, let's see if that's enough to get them a win. He's actually pushing in this bot side as the Grand Starfall comes in from eXyu. Interesting angle right there. They're just focusing down the turret. 3 members here, and the plates are about to fall. Can they get that last one? They did get another plate before they expired, and that should be first turret. Disguise just committing to the play, and now Licorice decides to go in. Lyonz is there with a hostile takeover, but only lands on 1 member, and eXyu actually buffers it with the E. Okay, Disguise, they get their turret and they get out. That's not too bad for them.
Yeah, Lion decided to invest a bunch of ultimates there to try and delay, but yeah, Saint was not close enough on the tower race to be able to make use of that delay. And Disguise get what they came for, so still looking for the 3 kills then. That puts all the pressure on the kill race. The next 2 kills for either team will get you your upgraded boots. Of course, the dragon stacking is really what's going to make or break the game. The boot upgrade isn't going to, like, you know, determine the end or anything. Really, we are looking for these dragon fights and stacking up towards Seoul, because that is going to be a mountain. And mountain, to make a team like this that much more tanky, who is all about short range, super hard engage, you know, brawling style here, looks very, very good for them.
Slow start to it, but we do expect action later. As the Dragons continue to stack, LYON have the ability to hard force fights. Doesn't look like they're going to go for that fight at this Herald, though. As currently it is eXyu and the rest of the guys around their castle looking for a 1v1 versus a Licorice. There's no turret to fall back on, so Licorice could be in some trouble here. No flash available, and he's just roasting down. Castle does not have Equalizer, but it'll be off cooldown shortly. He doesn't even need it. The Flame Spitter is enough. Castle, that's a rock-solid top laner.
Just ran him down and burned him down right there. Licorice was trying to sidestep harpoons, but Flame Spitter claims him. Double teleport is matched.
It's coming in from Saint. Equalizer straight into it. Saint could be in some trouble. Misses the Fate Seal as Abbedagge jumping in. Should have the damage for the kill. Goes from bad to worse for LYON. That's feats of warfare and feats of strength for Disguised.
Castle, definitely rock solid. Maybe even a bit more than that. I think you could get more aggressive with the one word that we burn it down to. That is huge. Abbedagge, you like how quickly he answered the teleport as well. Castle rewarded for you know, his big solo kill there onto Licorice, where he just kind of ran him down as both their cooldowns for their flashes were timing out. Here goes the Herald Drive into the mid lane.
Will it actually get the full thing? Ooh, good handshake there from Lyonz. Won't amount to much, though, as the turret should just fall here. That's 2 down for Disguise. Great series of plays for Disguised as a team. And this is really speaking to Ido, what the head coach was working on. He was saying getting everybody on the same page. That type of teleport play from Abbedagge to back up Castle was a clearly communicated play, and it nets some objectives, maybe the Dragon.
Hey, I think it definitely should. Saint has no ulti here for Yone because he used it to try and escape, but LYON, they know the Dragon stacking is critical to their end game, so they're coming through. Maokai ult.
Damage on a Huhi to start things off here. Still has the ultimate. He's going to actually absorb a lot of the Maokai ult, but now he's into the pit. Oddielan's going to look for the steal. Bramble Smash plus Smite is pretty big, but eXyu secures it as Disguise are not going to have to fight through the pit. Flash out from eXyu. They're actually going to disengage instead. Licorice finds Castle all alone. Disguise do not want to back up their top laner. They will sacrifice the Rumble to get the Dragon.
Honestly, putting a big stop to the Dragon stacking here for the Kalista team is pretty worth it for DSG. Just giving up 1 kill onto the Rumble. Very, very good stuff there for DSG. Now, they still retain their gold lead. They send Tristana immediately back out to a side lane there. Get that Tristana to try and answer top while they sacrifice the bottom side here to Saint.
This will equalize the turrets here as Lion do get more gold on to Saint into the Yone's pocket. But Abbedagge is pretty close to taking out this top turret. If you can get this wave, nah, Licorice and Lyonz can stop it. But Tristana, if you ever leave Tristana alone in a side lane, can burn through turrets very, very fast. He's hovering nearby, and we still have eXyu with the Grand Starfall, so if Lion go for anything too aggressive, they could be punished. And instead, they're actually going to back off. They realize we don't have enough vision, so Abbedagge will, in fact, get the outer top turret.
And this is really meaningful because of the comp that they're running here. Tristana keeps on scaling auto attack range as she levels up, so more money into him. Let's take a look at our Smite fight, though, because both champions actually combo Qs with Smites very well. Pantheon with the spear tap for the execution, just a bit better. They both try and do it there, but eXyu gets it with his Smite, with his Q. And then, of course, yeah, the sacrifice there, Castle at least doesn't blow his flash.
Yeah,
he says, fine, you know, I'm too far up right now, I'm caught, and he resigns himself to death, so he saves his critical flash for afterwards.
It's fun to see, though. Maokai and Pantheon, two of the best junglers at stealing objectives because of their ability to combo their Qs plus their Smite. But eXyu, a little bit faster on that trigger pull right there. Means that, again, it delays the dragon stacking. This buys a lot of time for Disguised, for the scaling elements of their comp.
Yeah, the Tristana especially. I mean, more range. As soon as you get an Infinity Edge in there, starts to get some real big crits. And it's very mobile. Your big range, plus you have self-peel, your resetting rocket jump, your ultimate. It's just all things that they can use to try and deal with the big engage that Lion will throw at you when they group up.
And again, gold on Abbedagge, if you had asked me at the beginning of the split, I wouldn't have been as confident. But if you ask me now, he's had a couple of really good performances, and if you get an actual chance to talk to this guy, he is motivated to perform. The word he gave was improved, because he wants to show that he has gotten better since the last time he was in A. If you remember, he won an LCS championship. He made 2 finals in a row after that. That's 3 finals appearances. Goes to EU, has 1 rough split, but then makes finals again over there. So he's trying to show that I have improved, I have gotten better since that point. But reminder, Oddielan has spawned, which now triggers a special Uber Eats offer that you can check out in chat or the Twitch extension.
And it is going to mean that DSG move a lot of their resources up towards the top side of the map. They leave Castle split pushing down bottom side. Lion are going to show a lot of people bottom side. So that Oddielan that you mentioned might be a target very early on.
That was just flash public execution from Licorice, so no ultimate on the Ambessa. Even if they do teleport in, that's an ult down. Now. That's the Oddielan started up. We're teleporting to the turret for Licorice. I don't think Lion will even get a chance to contest this. Oddielan's walking up there, but has no backup from the rest of the team. It's a solo Maokai. Huhi can zone him away. That is Oddielan for Disguise. As Saint and Castle 1v1. What's going on bot side? Castle loses it. Saint with the solo kill.
He barely gets it, so they do get the kill eventually onto the split pusher. But the Oddielan power now for DSG. That is the permanent buff for the on-kill slow explosion. That is big. Plus the empowered flowers there all picked up. You can see on your screen 27. Since not very many flowers had been picked up in the early game, the Oddielan kill just sweeps all of them into you. So really, really heavy payment for this solo kill. And this solo kill wasn't guaranteed. It was close.
Yeah, I'm actually amazed Saint won this.
Castle went for it out of the brush. You know, he had a lot of damage, but Saint barely there with the flash away, and then he's able to life steal enough up, and eventually gets the shield. Holy moly, that could not have been much closer.
No, very, very close. He's looking for even more as he jumps back in. I mean, Saint's one of those guys, he spent 2 full years developing on DK Challengers, comes into the LTA, and immediately we could see the spark in Saint as a player. It's just the team hasn't been able to pick up the wins yet, but it's plays like that, man, that make you remember Saint's name and make you excited for this guy.
All right, here we go. Dragon trying to get back on track. Lion really need to get this one so they can work towards that soul that is critical. DSG, though, feeling confident, moving in. Pantheon ult goes.
He's going to go in for it now. Pantheon ult, Grand Starfall over the top. He's going to actually dive in, look for the fight instead. And there's Ambessa. Licorice finds the flank. Knockups on knockups, and LYON are winning this one. Abbedagge looking for the resets on the Lyonz, but ScaryJerry has to flash away. Everybody's falling from DSG, and it's just Abbedagge alone. LYON don't lose a member, and they'll get the dragon.
They rip them apart. They're back on track for their Dragon Soul stacking here, and they can even push in a couple of extra waves before they reset, jack up that gold in their inventories. Here's a look at how they started out.
Yeah.
It was the Pantheon over the side, but look at Hena. He's able to flash before the ultimate actually comes through. He gets out of danger, and then Hena's just ripping them up. So
yeah.
Everybody else here on the other side can't really take down any of the front line. And after Hena was able to get safe there,
yeah,
nobody's really in danger.
Abbedagge thought maybe if I kill Lyonz and I can get a reset, jump away, do something else in the fight, but unfortunately didn't control the vision around the banana bush. Lyonz gets to safety, and LYON, the team now very far ahead. 2,000 gold lead isn't a massive amount, but the fact that they're on Dragon Soul point is the big win condition for them right now.
All right. Moving slowly ahead then. The Dragon timer, everybody's looking at that big clock at the top. But will there be any meaningful skirmishes otherwise? Because Baron will get here in 1 minute. I don't think there's going to be a hard commit, but LYON do have Kalista. And this is a 2+ item Kalista. Once you have your Rage Blade plus Bork, you do rip through Baron. Like, you lifesteal it very well, and you have Rend. So it is always an option for LYON to set up their vision around the Baron, start it up, and see if you can get any turns with a Maokai ult, with an Ambessa ultimate on DSG. If you control vision well enough, then you can force some really good positions.
And not only do they have the Maokai saplings, always really good for controlling vision, but they even have like Kalista throwing the little ghost in there. Like, they have so many tools to make sure that they're controlling that vision. It's hard for this guys to actually walk in. It's a little window that huhi found that he actually could get some wards down.
Yep, they're doing their best at the moment. 2 item power spikes for all of the disguised members, trying to get into fighting shape right now. It's fully transformed Mount Amuna for ScaryJerry in mid.
Play. Grand Starfall as well. Who's the focus? It could be Hena right now, as eXyu does land in. Abbedagge's got the damage. Hena knocked back towards ScaryJerry. Has the bailout. Hena's alive. He's trying to survive, but Abbedagge does get in there. It's kill credit to Castle. Abbedagge falls as LYON bouncing back in the fight, but Castle still roasting, still doing damage. Shut down to Castle with a triple kill. LYON have 2 members left trying to run away. ScaryJerry now the focus. Saint thinks maybe I can take him out. Maybe the Soul Unbound will save me, and he does. ScaryJerry's out of there. Saint gets another.
Oh my goodness, Yone just rips through him. This champion just ease at you with a shield bow. Saint, again, no fear. Kind of salvages it there, makes it 3 for 3 in the end, even with the Rumble just roasting him the whole time. Still takes out the AD carry. But the key is, this time they do get Senna. So Kalista. They do get Hena. They burn him down, but he gets the bailout, which delays again, and another jump in from Abbedagge because the bailout, he's like, oh man, we got to fully commit to get this. So he jumps in, but then since he's in, Abbedagge went down.
No other way out.
As soon as you lost that Tristana, then it kind of opens up for a counterplay here. And Castle is roasting him the whole time. ScaryJerry's like autoing, roasting him. Like, we can't peel this guy.
Yeah. Huhi, I believe,
that's a Yone laugh right there.
Somebody happy about that.
He's like, what is this?
What's going on?
Oh my goodness.
That was a wild fight to track right there. Also, Abbedagge flashing Saint's ult, big part, and then just jumped straight into his death. Almost had the outplay, but man, it's those little lines here. These guys are still trying to improve their team fight set up, but the fact that they went for that play in the first place is what I want to highlight, because that was DSG opting into it. Teleport flame from Abbedagge, eXyu ulting in over the top. They had a clear call, and they all committed to it. Even if it wasn't perfect, it was still cool to see. Now the call is Baron.
Okay, definitely dangerous, because LYON are approaching. They have Maokai ult, they have Ambessa ultimate, but huhi's on the flank on a control ward. They're looking for the turn.
Yeah, huhi now, big knock up into Hena. Hena's out of there. LYON with no AD carry are going to have to try and find a way to fight Saint, and Licorice should jump into the back line. Rampage for Saint. The carries for Disguised are down. Lyonz, Saint, and Oddielan stand tall. LYON stands tall. Disguised, They still have their top laner. Castle gonna try and get some more damage down here, but it is not nearly enough. And LYON win the team fight.
All right, Kangas, Yone and Ambessa looking pretty good.
That was a little terrifying to be an AD carry in that situation.
It started out so good for DSG. Their plan of kill Hena has worked. And this is the best look of it working.
Yep.
They headbutt out of the flank, they delete the Kalista. But then, keep your eyes on Saint as well as Licorice. Licorice on the bottom side of your screen comes in. Ambessa ultimate. He's going to snipe Abbedagge. They had Saint set him up. Saint over the wall into Licorice, and it's the two solo laners just deleting AD carries.
Yep. I mean, that's what Ambessa does. That's what Yone does. Pair them together. There's not a lot of chance. They do it twice as fast. Oh, we're back to live, though. eXyu's in a bit of trouble here. Getting locked down by Lyonz, but Saint does not have enough damage. Oh! Saint almost just gets deleted from the rift, and so does eXyu. Blinking health bars, nobody dies.
Okay, slim margins, but, you know, we've got Dragon Soul on LYON. The Mountain Soul is just so powerful on this full send comp. It really becomes difficult for DSG now. That's why this game plan from the very beginning, so successful here for LYON. Let's see. Now they can definitely just start up Barons, look for turns, start up Baron, whenever they want. They've got teleport on Licorice. They've got teleport on Saint. So they can push the side lanes, go to the objective, and try and draw DSG into your trap.
Right now they have Licorice doing just that with the teleport available. Can always join up with the team as everybody else groups up. Oddielan walks in. Now it's all about vision control at that Baron, and LYON have firm control of it right now.
Okay, here we go.
We're just going to start it up, okay?
Start it up.
It was spotted right as the ward was expiring, and there's one flanking ward that Castle could look at.
Go for the
Castle's
turn.
actually just linked up with the team.
It's in red
equalizer
range.
available, pretty low. Maokai Ultimate's going to try and buy some space, and they will get the Baron. Can Disguise find and engage after the fact? LYON are corralled, but they fought the space. They've earned it back, and LYON can now just walk away here. Disguise, no contest. Baron to LYON.
Let's see. Yeah, everybody just gets out clean, too.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Or is it a Grand Starfall directly onto Licorice all alone? Nobody from the team backing him up, but here comes Saint trying to link up, and Licorice can't just jump away. If it's only Pantheon, that is not enough to threaten the kill.
Yeah, eXyu took like a couple hundred damage there trying to pick Licorice, and Licorice lost his Mountain Soul shield for a second.
But it's back.
It's only for
good
a second.
Yeah.
Hey,
now Licorice looking for his own play. Castle won the 1v1 earlier. Can he do it now? But it's not a fair fight. Saint linking up. The solo laners are the story for LYON in this game, and they will find another pick.
Yone and Ambessa. Ooh, quite the duo there, and they're able to get some picks for themselves. With Baron buff, Kangas, you know these towers actually are killable.
Yep.
Despite how short range the team is, you can just run straight through them. Baron buff, Mountain Soul, and there they go, they're diving.
And now on to Abbedagge. Oddielan starts it off. Abbedagge burning down. Oh, barely alive. As the turret will still fall. Disguised cannot hold on to their base. This Red Bull Baron power play really, really positive for LYON right now, up to 4,000, and it's going to go higher. They're going to take down 2 inhibitor turrets at the same time, but will actually back off on the mid lane turret. Disguise had to pick one line to fight. They choose the mid one, but still, big influx of gold into the pockets of LYON. They made a lot of work happen with that Baron.
Yeah, DSG it's so hard right now, but they're trying to find some extra money for their carries here. It's very difficult for them to keep Abbedagge and ScaryJerry safe, but all focus does have to be on peeling at the moment. See what they can do on the bottom side of the map. Maybe group up, try and go for a brush play here, a little bit of a counter. LYON are going to continue sieging though. Baron buff still on.
Oddielan just taking 0 damage right there. Yeah, I mean, this Mountain Soul really is a thorn in the side of DSG. They just can't find any poke between the Corki and the Rumble to actually stick here.
Split push working out nicely as well. Ambessa up there gets the mid lane pushing towards the weakened tower. And that cannon minion, one shot at a time, slowly chipping down.
Whittling it down. Saint whittling down ScaryJerry's health bar. Almost one-shots him over the wall. And again, all he took was not even the full Mountain Soul shield damage. Wow. Okay, Abbedagge jumping in onto Licorice. There's not many plays left for DSG. At this point, it's basically desperation. Abbedagge thinks maybe there's a tiny window here. Maybe I can make some magic happen. Unfortunately, we live in the real world. No magic around as LYON will take that middle inhibitor. Bottom inhibitor turret as well, look to put the final touches in this game. It was a slow burn for the first half, but LYON in firm control of those objectives, and the solo laners stepping up. Final fight here for DSG. Equalizer goes down, Castle not getting a lot of damage in there, and Licorice still untouched. Hena still untouched. LYON will take down 2. Looking to dive into the fountain onto ScaryJerry. Castle trying to clear the wave under the turrets, but there's just no shot. LYON roar to life in the series. Quick work of DSG as they'll get the last Nexus turret, focus up on the Nexus, pad the stats a little bit for the fantasy point players that drafted them. LYON take game number 1.